26 minutes, 55 seconds of Smash goodness has arrived in the form of today's latest Direct, and I gotta say, Gabe, it really impressed me.
Yeah, you were really worried about this yesterday. We had, discussions both on and off mic about our expectations and how we wanted things to go. And I think it's safe to say that your expectations got blown out of the water just off the King K. Rool alone. Zach,
Goodness gracious.
Just to give people a little bit of insight, right? We watched it together, quote unquote, technically, but we couldn't hear each other, and that was by design, and we'll talk about that another time. But the entire time the King K. Rool thing was happening, like you, as soon as I heard the stomp, I knew it was King K. Right?
Yeah.
So as soon as that happened, Zach, I grinned like I've never grinned in my life. I am not a grinner, people. That's not a thing I do. But boy, I lost it. I lost it for you. I laughed. I let out an audible LOL. Like, you were on my mind the whole time. I knew you were losing it.
It was insane. That's probably definitely the most excited I've ever been during a Direct. I think honestly I was more jazzed for that confirmation than any Nintendo Direct. It was just such a great moment, especially after the Simon Belmont leak last night. I was worried that was going to be the only character reveal, and while he is a cool addition, it's no King K. Rool. To me, it's always great to get Nintendo's take and to see what they add in, and the way they did it, the cutscene, the stomps while Sakurai was talking, super epic. The fact that then they cut to just an art scene and maybe that's the end, and the stomp was just a hint for the future. Then you get the Donkey Kong cutscene and it's actually a fake out with a costume, and then King K. Rool. Man, they really just wanted to milk that for all it's worth, but dude, it was so worth it. That was honestly my favorite Direct moment I think ever.
I'm still befuddled by your love of King K. I don't understand it.
He's so cool.
Sure.
Okay, just to give you a quick little 30 seconds. Donkey Kong Country 2 was my favorite SNES game, and it's probably my favorite retro game outside of Super Mario World. I know that doesn't make sense since they're both on SNES, but in hindsight, Mario World is better. But me and Jake would just play that in our apartment when my mom was super stressed and my dad worked out of state, and it was just such a great memory and moment. Then for my 10-year-old birthday, I got the see-through Lime Green N64 with Donkey Kong 64, K. Rools in that. I had the strategy guide. It was my first ever strategy guide for Diddy's Conquest on SNES. There's just a lot of Donkey Kong moments that contributed to making King K. Rool iconic in my mind. And then I love villains, and I think he's just such a fantastic addition. Also, I love that he's kind of dumb / crazy, right? It's not the typical. It's a little bit off center, and I think sort of some of the best Smash Bros. Moments come when they get a little wonky and give you kind of that he's not the first choice. He's not the first pick. He's an underdog, and my soft spot for underdogs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm super happy about it. It's something people have been wanting for a very long time, and that seems to be their MO this time. Hey, give people everything they want, because I might never make another one of these games again. Shout out to Sakurai. So
we were talking about that, about what do they do next, but what they did here was really great. I think that opening bit with Luigi was really cool. I wonder if that is a hint that his moveset is going to be updated. I mean, it would make sense, but regardless, that was a super cool cutscene as Luigi gets absolutely scythed. Right, and turned into a ghost himself.
Zach, Luigi dies.
Very violent by Nintendo standards. But they bring in Simon, they bring in Richter. I thought it was kind of interesting how Sakurai said, who's the Echo Fighter? That was kind of a fun moment for me. The stage looks really awesome as well.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. They have all the nods to Castlevania, Dracula randomly making appearances, and Sakurai alludes to hey, what are the requirements to make him appear? So I feel that'll be really cool to uncover. And although they are showing a lot about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'm glad that they're still saving some surprises. And I don't mean to jump all over the place here, but the home screen, right, where we're that looks like a story mode that they're hiding. So I love that they're still trying to keep some things mysterious.
Yeah. It absolutely seems like there is much more to discuss, which is crazy because I was worried that this was going to be such a granular, detail-oriented Direct that focused on a lot of the same things we saw focused on at E3. But in fact, they kind of took a different tone, and it was just a lot of reveal after reveal, plus they went numerical. So Simon, cool moveset. I think his design looks really nice. I'm glad that they're bringing in a bunch of monsters. I know neither of us are the biggest Castlevania fan, so I don't think it's going to be a main or a focus character for any of us, but cool addition nonetheless. From there, the other Echo Fighters, bringing in Dark Samus and Chrom. Not our predictions. We had gone with Shadow and Akuma, but Dark Samus is one that has been wanted / predicted for a long time, and Chrom does nothing for me.
Yeah, no, same. Even the Dark Samus thing, like, it's cool, like, I understand, but, I mean, it's a different skin, like, for all intents and purposes. I'm sure there's gonna be, like, slight changes, but, yeah, none of the Echo Fighters do, like, a whole lot for me, personally.
My favorite thing about the Echo Fighters was the way that they're structured and held within the menu. I think that's really cool that you can separate them or you can bring them together and then flip them. So, like, technically your Smash Bros. Character select could feature Daisy as the prime character, could feature Richter as the main character.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. They're doing a lot of super neat things that, like, pretty much seem obvious now, but they're just, like, little, like, quality of life things that are really cool.
Presentation and polish is fantastic. I even love that sidebar. I was thinking aloud to myself, like, it would be cool if they brought that to the Switch in general. Like, if that was the menu you could open up as sort of like the system overlay. I would like that a lot, that little sidebar they showed near the end. They also spent quite a bit of time hammering home numbers. Over 100 stages, 900 total music tracks when all things are considered, 28 hours of songs. It's insane how much they're packing into this game. Like, forget how many characters are in the title. Over 100 stages, and then with the Battlefield and Omega variants, like, you could have a different experience 100 matches in a row if you get a group together that just wants to sit there and go through everything. I feel like it would be an insane challenge to play every single stage and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, that'd be very crazy. We're gliding over a couple of things. Alucard being announced as an assist trophy. Wanted to just super briefly mention that before we move on from the Castlevania stuff fully. But yeah, you're right. The sheer amount of content in this game is staggering. I don't understand what they're going to do next. Like you said, we talked about that a little bit. But once you give people everything you've ever done, plus everything they've ever wanted in the form of King K, and you mentioned this, right? They gave how many stages there are, how many music tracks are. They very carefully omitted how many characters there are. So there's definitely more reveals to come. I think that this is gonna make a lot of people happy when it's all said and done. So yeah, how many more new characters do you think we get? I think we get maybe like 4 new characters possibly.
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, the fact that they put 2 at E3, 2 here, I think at least 2 more makes sense, and probably a couple more than that. I think having, 8 new characters would be really great. Not counting the Echo Fighters, of course. Yeah. But 8 new would be I would be very happy with that number. And it does feel like this is Sakurai kind of pouring everything he's got into this one. Not saying he's done after this, but in case he is,
he's saying
then, I mean, he's always said that. But in case he is, this would be a great way to go out. And I think some of the added modes / rules are really cool. Like, I love the idea that you can merge 2 stages into one battle and have them transform either randomly or at a set time. I think that's a super fun addition. And then the new actual modes that they have, that Squad Strike mode, that's fantastic. That's outside of King K. Rool, to me, that was the coolest thing in the Direct.
Yeah, Squad Strike and Smashdown modes, like, both of those things look really, really cool to me. While we're on the topic of modes, I want to very quickly talk about the tournament thing, right? Where you can have up to, like, 32 people. That could be, like, really fun for, like, live streams and just, like, decently sized get-togethers. I don't know how you could get 32 people to come over, but hey, if you can figure it out, like, that's a really fun time too. But yeah, Squad Strike, Smashdown. In our predictions video, we talked about that a little bit, how, like, they needed to do, like, something else, like, mode-wise. And
I think it's really
delivered.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's really nice how they can, for Squad Strike, you can either have it be just you and use the characters in sequence, or you can have it be sort of like almost this like sports style battle where it's like one after the other. It feels like a mid alleyway like beatdown where you're just throwing your next best dude at the opponent. Smashdown to me is very interesting. Obviously, it's a mode where the characters that are picked are then removed from selection, so it's not in the exact style, but it reminds me of like a MOBA type selection process, right, where you're like making picks and trying to sort of keep players from picking their favorites. I don't know how often it would be used in esports, but it feels like it'd be a really fun alternative to traditional battles, and it's one that I'm super pumped for. I think if you get 4 people together and kind of go through and see who's going to end up with the top wins after all the characters, like, it's something that you could create on your own. And I remember back when I was younger playing Smash Bros, all the different iterations, me and Jake would make up sort of our own rules and our own tournaments. And I love that they're now like officializing and incorporating that into the game. They also showed more assist trophies. Some of those were sad, I think, for a sizable portion of the audience. Shovel Knight getting the assist treatment, Ashley getting the assist treatment. Obviously, Knuckles is there as well. So those characters are now out for the count in terms of being playable. That was a very nerve-wracking moment for me. I was concerned that K. Rool would show up there, but thankfully he didn't.
Yeah, like you said, like very nostalgic way that they're doing things. Like you, I used to do that. I mean, with my friends, like, hey, yeah, you picked, Link this time, you can't pick him next time, like type thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a really cool mode there. Beyond that, speaking of classic, they brought in like classic mode as well, where each character has a set, rotation of fighters out to fight in a very Smash 1 type mode. So I thought that was like interesting as well. I was joking about this yesterday, but when I said like, hey, they're bringing every mode ever, also like that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Does that do anything for you? That classic mode?
Probably not, honestly, but I'm glad it's there, right? If I want to experiment with a new
I just think
character.
it's the least exciting way to convey single player.
Sure, but there's clearly going to be more on that. But yeah, if you're trying to learn a new character, and there's a lot of characters to learn, like other than like training mode, like that gives you a way to go like try out stuff on actual like computers. And it's fine. I don't mind it.
Well, and incorporating more math into the training mode was pretty interesting, showing the trajectory and different things like that. Nifty. They also highlighted some new weapons. I'm very partial to that banana gun. I think it's very, very violent, but also very nice. I was also nervous there that was going to be a King K. Rool item / weapon. But once they showed the claptrap as an item, I was like, okay, clearly there is a Donkey Kong focus here, and that gave me quite a bit of hope for K. Rool. How did you feel just about, in general, like the where the game is headed? Are you more excited, less excited? Did this do enough for you?
I'm not less excited, but I'm more excited temporarily, right? Like I think that's how I function when it comes to like excitement for games. Like I'm really excited about all the new stuff that they've shown, right? And I love to continue to see more new stuff, but I do worry at a certain point if they're showing too much. Like I want some things to be a surprise, and clearly they kind of feel that way too. There is that very mysterious mode, which I think will be the last thing we talk about here in a bit. But yeah, I want more surprises, honestly. So I'm more excited for now, but by like tomorrow, the day after, the excitement comes back down to where it normally is. We're like, yeah, I really want to play this, but it's still not coming till December. So I don't want to get too excited because then that weight becomes unbearable, Zach.
To me, it did a lot. I think it was a really fantastic way to showcase and highlight that they are doing so much on so many fronts. Characters, items, assist trophies, menus, modes, rule sets, online. Like they really are in every way. Music, of course. They're doing what they can to make this the best Smash Bros. Ever, and that came across loud and clear. Even the little tweaks like the final smash meter, like that's going to make such a difference for the game and allow for so many options. Variety seems to be such a focus here that there are so many ways to enjoy and play this game. And as you mentioned, we have not seen that mysterious green menu item, what that is going to be. I don't think it's something that will be held over until launch. I absolutely think we get discussion on that at some point before December, but it's got to be single player. It is a major portion of that menu. It's right next to online, right below Smash. So you're going to have your quick play, you're going to have online, you got Vault games and more, and I feel like that is got to be some sort of, it's either Smash Run returning in some style, or it is a new campaign, single player, subspace type thing. But all in all, like I was worried about this direct, and this did everything to assuage and then some. I couldn't really think of a negative in that direct. I loved pretty much every minute of it.
I think that they wouldn't have even like emphasized that mode if it wasn't something substantial. So I'm ready for it to be like Subspace 2 or something. I mean, I don't think they would ever like do that like necessarily, but something on that scale is all I'm saying. or something even on a grander scale. Like, we don't know. I told you, like, hey, like, those cutscenes are beautiful. Like, so it'd be a shame for them to, like, not have that stuff, like, in the game, right? So what if you get, like, a story mode going with things like that?
And they do go above and beyond for the character reveals, so it could just be that they really want to blow those out in a beautiful way. But
for sure.
It would be awesome if they were incorporated in some grander capacity. I also want to give a small shout out to Alolan Executor because he's freaking fantastic. So giant. And holding on to him will be epic. But the main thing I wanted here was new and variety. And they found a way to really mix up and remix Smash Brothers in so many ways. It's hard to really kind of pick the best elements. I think he was one of the best presentations we've seen in the Switch era. And frankly, I think this was, for me, a more fun experience than the E3 Smash segment, which is crazy. But I like this more, and I feel like the emphasis on what's different and new here, for me, helped elevate it above, hey, everyone's back.
Would you say that if King K hadn't been announced?
I mean, that definitely is the icing on the cake for me. It's definitely the moment that I needed, I wanted. But look, you just line it up and you say Squad Strike, the turning mode, Smashdown mode, some of the new items, the fact that they've got the Ramblin' Evil Mushroom. I mean, that's freaking fantastic. New Pokemon, new assist trophies. We have to mention that Monster Hunter makes an appearance here, which is really cool, bringing in Rathalos. Obviously, I'm not a giant Monster Hunter fan, but I love Monster Hunter World, and I'm sure we'll play the new Switch title when it arrives later this month. But that's really nifty. The first character that is an assist trophy and a boss. The 2 stages morphing. Like, there's just so much here that I think, yes, even if it wasn't K. Rool, let's say it was
Minecraft Boy.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Anybody else, I still think this is an insanely successful Direct, and I like that they kept it going. They did not really do what I expected and get super granular. Yeah, they did have their little music montage and their stage montage, but even in the music segment, like showing that basically this is going to be an archive and a museum for Nintendo nostalgia, and having the music separated based on franchise, and that they've got albums that you can. They're utilizing the Switch in a different way that you can play the music with the screen off. It's like the world's largest iPod. Like
that was interesting. Oh, yeah. I had one question, like while watching this, right? Like they're showing all of this, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, is all of this unlocked for the get-go? Like, that has to be, like, overbearing, right? And I remember in past Smash titles, specifically, in the Wii, right? Like, playing and unlocking a character and unlocking music tracks just, like, as you play. So I kind of personally like that about Smash, and I hope that they continue to do that. But if all of this is just, like, available from the get-go, like, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think both sides of that equation induce overwhelm. It's like, one, there's so much at the start, or two, you're constantly just hitting unlocks over and over and over again, and that can be overbearing in its own way. They did specifically say that all of the stages will be there from the beginning, so you will have 103 stages plus variants. I like that they're organized music, right? Yeah, I mean,
because that's a lot,
I don't really care to unlock music in any capacity, but
I mean, because we know that we have to unlock characters like as we go. I know we know that we start with the starting roster from
right,
old Smash, and you unlock as you go. I don't know, that's a lot of music.
Yeah, I did want to point out as well that, and I don't think we touched on this, that the blur on the main screen obviously is there with that green menu option, but there's also a blur on the sidebar. Now, you could say that this is a separate thing, that maybe it is that they're not linked, but I feel that they are, and I do then believe that that's got to be probably. Well, maybe they're not. I was going to say maybe it is single player, and that's just a quick way to boost right into that. But if you look at that sidebar, you've got sort of a home option. You've got what looks like network settings, messages, overall settings, help. So maybe there is a separate feature. Maybe it's 2 important reveals that we still have to eventually see.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope so. the more, the better. Again, this is like kind of blowing my mind.
It's insanely huge.
Yeah,
it's crazy. On top of that, we have a limited edition reveal that includes a GameCube controller, an adapter, and the game. It's not the most exciting. I really hope for something more. But as we predicted, Amiibo are back. They were not shown in the Direct, but Nintendo did tweet out that all the new characters shown off today, including the Echo Fighters, will have Amiibo. So that beautiful King K. Rool Amiibo is coming home, baby.
How many of them are you gonna? Are you gonna buy all the King K. Rool Amiibo? Make sure that thing's a success.
I'm gonna have a whole wall of K. Rool Amiibo. It's gonna be like one of those gag gifts that like everyone just gives me the King K. Rool Amiibo.
Yeah, I got you.
Goodness gracious, I'm pumped for it. I freaking love this presentation. I loved what they showed, and I love the direction it's heading. It impressed me in just about every way, and I think it's safe to say that this game has now launched even higher on the excitement chart, and I hope it has for you as well. Let us know in the comments down below what got you guys most excited and how you feel about the fact that they are really mixing this game up and really trying to make big strides in terms of incorporating variety and bringing back so many beloved features, characters, and fun, and also introducing new ways to enjoy the two-stage morphing, the final smash meter, the squad strike and smashdown modes, the characters, obviously, all the music, all the stages, a lot here. Let us know your favorites in the comments down below, everybody. Gabe, I saw Alolan Vulpix, and I felt like you were really happy at that moment.
I do love Alolan Vulpix. So cute.
Oh, Ditto as well. Like, the fact that Ditto replicates your character, and, ooh, nice usage there. Yeah. Nice usage indeed. Let us know your favorite Smash Bros. Uses in the comments. Subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from Switch and Smash. I'm sure there will be more as we move towards the holiday season. Until that time, everybody, for myself and Gabe, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. We love you. Switch Force